Close your eyes. Imagine you are standing at the top of your run-up. The stadium is electric. 100,000 people are holding their breath. The floodlights are blazing. The pitch is glowing white under the night sky. And in your hand is a red leather cricket ball. You breathe in. You focus. You begin to run. Faster. Harder. Your feet hammer the turf. Your arm coils back like a loaded spring. And at the moment of delivery, everything releases. The ball leaves your hand at 200 kilometers per hour. 200. That number does not exist in cricket. Not yet. Not in human history. But today, we are going to simulate it, break it down, and ask the one question that changes everything. What would happen if a human being actually did it? So, will a human ever bowl 170, 175, maybe even 180? Here's what's fascinating. Sports science in 2025 looks nothing like it did in 2003. Biomechanical analysis, muscle fiber typing, load monitoring, and recovery technology have transformed elite sport. We now know exactly which muscle fires at which millisecond during a delivery stride, and coaches can train, target, and optimize those muscles to a degree that was completely impossible 2 decades ago. Some analysts genuinely believe the 170 kilometers per hour barrier could fall within the next decade. The next Shoaib Akhtar might already be 14 years old, training in a backyard somewhere in Lahore, in Mumbai, in Barbados, in Melbourne. But 200? That is a different conversation. 200 requires something beyond coaching, beyond nutrition, beyond training. It requires the human body to be different. Gene therapy, synthetic muscle reinforcement, exoskeletal training systems. These are not science fiction anymore. They are active areas of research. The day the first 200 km per hour delivery is bowled, if it ever is, cricket will never look the same again. So, what if you bowled at 200 kilometers per hour? Your arm would not survive it. The batsman across from you would have no time to react. The physics would, and when we find the next impossible, what if? You are going to want to be here. But let's zoom out, because 200 kilometers per hour sounds extraordinary, until you compare it to what other athletes already do. In baseball, Aroldis Chapman threw the fastest recorded pitch in history at 169 kilometers per hour, and baseball pitchers throw with a straight arm, a simpler action, from just 18 meters, and they still suffer career-ending injuries regularly. In tennis, Sam Groth served at 263 kilometers per hour. But a tennis ball weighs 56 grams, a cricket ball weighs 160 grams, nearly 3 times heavier, and is delivered with a bending, rotating arm action that multiplies the stress on every single joint. In Formula 1, cars travel at over 350 kilometers per hour, but a car has 800 horsepower, aerodynamic engineering, and carbon fiber construction. Your arm has a rotator cuff and a dream. The human body was not designed to be a projectile launcher at 200 kilometers per hour.
Power of the
we are already pushing the absolute boundaries of what evolution allows, and 161 kilometers per hour is somewhere very near that ceiling. Now let's talk about the bowler. Let's talk about you. To bowl at 200 kilometers per hour, the human body would need to perform actions that biology has never evolved to perform. Think about what happens to a fast bowler's body at 161 kilometers per hour. The current world record. At the moment of delivery, the bowling arm rotates at roughly 7,000 degrees per second. The shoulder joint experiences what biomechanists call a distraction force, a force that tries to pull the arm out of its socket, of over 1,000 newtons. The lower back, at the point of front foot contact, absorbs compressive forces of up to 9 times the bowler's body weight. This is why Shoaib Akhtar's body broke down repeatedly throughout his career. This is why Brett Lee had 3 major elbow operations. This is why the fastest bowlers in history almost never make it past their mid-30s. Their bodies were already operating at the absolute biological limit. To increase speed from 160 to 200, to add 40 more kilometers per hour, you would need your rotator cuff muscles to be 40 to 50% stronger than the strongest fast bowler who has ever lived. Your ligaments would need to be made of something stronger than human collagen. Your spinal discs would need to absorb forces that, at that speed, would cause immediate fracture in a normal human spine. The honest answer? A normal human arm would not survive bowling 200 kilometers per hour even one time. One delivery, one release. and it would be over. First, let's understand what we're actually talking about. 161.3 kilometers per hour converts to approximately 44.8 meters per second. The distance from the bowling crease to the batsman is 20 meters. At 161 kilometers per hour, the ball covers that distance in 0.44 seconds. Less than half a second. Now, your brain. From the moment your eyes detect the ball leaving the bowler's hand, your visual cortex needs 0.1 to 0.2 seconds just to process the information. Then your motor cortex needs another 0.15 to 0.2 seconds to send the signal to your muscles. That means by the time your brain has even decided to move, the ball is already passing you. World-class batsmen are not reacting to the ball. They are predicting it, reading the bowler's wrist angle, reading the seam position, reading the body shape at the point of delivery. All of this in less than half a second. Now, take that, and bowl at 200 kilometers per hour. At 200 kilometers per hour, the same 20 meters takes just 0.36 seconds. The window for the batsman to react is now so small. It is essentially zero. And the force on impact, at 200 kilometers per hour, a 160-gram cricket ball carries kinetic energy equivalent to being struck by a 20-kilogram weight dropped from shoulder height. That is not cricket. That is physics becoming dangerous. M touched 162. So what would it take to bowl at 200? Let's start with the truth. On April 27, 2003, inside Newlands Stadium in Cape Town, South Africa, a 27-year-old Pakistani fast bowler named Shoaib Akhtar ran in from the boundary with the kind of energy that makes crowds go quiet before they go insane. He released the ball. The speed gun read 161.3 kilometers per hour. The stadium exploded. Commentators lost their minds. And the world of cricket bowed its head and said, "That's it. That is the limit. That is what a human being is capable of." And here's the remarkable thing. 22 years have passed since that delivery. 22 years of advances in sports science, nutrition, biomechanics, strength training, bowling academies, high-speed cameras, and nobody, not a single human being on this planet, has beaten it. Brett Lee hit 161.1. Sean Tate hit 161.1. Jeff Thompson, Andy Roberts, Mitchell Stark, Lockie Ferguson, great bowlers, all of them. None of them touched 162. So what would it take to bowl at 200